Hello, everybody. Get this right over here where it belongs. What's going on? Jordan here. Just gonna wait for everybody to join up. Might hit a bowl or two while I'm waiting. Just kind of watching futures here. Looks like we're gonna do something real soon, so just kind of waiting for it to break one way or the other, and I'm gonna get in, make a little bit of money, be done. I got in on a couple breaks below this line, and that's it so far. So, yep. Cheers. So it looks like we're actually going to break up here, potentially. Let's see if I can't get this to flip. I guess you could say this is still, see, something like that. Oh, welcome in. If any of you would like me to look at anything, please let me know. I'm just kind of watching this right now. I think I might try and do a quick something with that. Let's see if that works in my favor or not. Goes down $50, I'll get out. But yeah, welcome in. I'm just letting everybody kind of join up, taking a second, letting everybody get in here. And if you have any questions, feel free to start asking them. I'll start going over them in a couple minutes. Just kind of looking at this right now. Nobody has any questions? Nobody wants to say anything? Say hello? Anything? With futures, just by the way, you got to be very quick with where you cut it. So cut it with a small win or a small loss. I'm just kind of looking to see if it wants to continue in this direction or if it's going to reverse on me. It's fighting, so. I don't even know if y'all can hear me. Let me see. Can y'all hear me? Hello? There we go. I see y'all are here. Okay, I'll start answering the questions in just a second. So get out this stupid trade I got myself in. See if I can't get a green exit. quickly. SPY, QQQ, DIA. Which one do you think is more reliable to understand market direction? Because if one breaks, the other might not break the pattern. So QQQ and SPY are going to be pretty similar in the how reliable they are to understand market direction. I mean, let's just be real, right? Like, let's look at SPY on a 15-minute chart, just for example. Cut this off. Okay. So let's just look at this, right? And now we're going to look at QQQ as well. So I'm actually going to take a screenshot of this, and then we're going to look at SPY. So let's look at the more recent part. So this is where we're looking at right here. So bounce, they're almost identical, right? Give or take, they're almost identical. Not exactly, but they're pretty close. So in general, those are going to be good. I don't really use DIA, so I'm not going to speak on it. Like, I don't look at it, I don't know anything about it, I don't watch it, so I'm not going to speak on that one. But as far as QQQ and SPY go, you can use them at the same time. Like, if one's going up, the other one's probably going up. When one's going down, the other one's probably going down, and that's because they both are very closely related in terms of like where they are in the market, their industry, whatever it is that you want to call it. Their index is pretty close, so it's going to move similarly. As far as what I think is going to happen, I talked about this in our Discord yesterday, but here, let me delete this out of there so you can just see the chart. So as far as SPY goes, there's a couple things that could go on here. So this is an area. So this was our first area of, are we going to reject or break out? We actually broke out. Next area is here, which is where we are now. So if come next week we break out of here, this is our next level. And then this is our next level. And once we break, if we somehow manage to break this level, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that we're going to reach the previous high and break through. So for me, what I'm using these levels kind of like how I do the 200, right? So I may enter a call if we start coming up here with the knowledge that I'm going to exit very, very close here, and I'm going to be waiting for either a rejection so that we form a double top either here or here, or where we are currently, right? Or if we break through, go to the next level. So these are my levels that I have for SPY. QQQ is going to be pretty similar, right? Like, I'm just going to draw them across these levels. So you're just looking for the previous points of drop, right? So like this one dropped twice from here. This one actually has one point where we rocketed up very high and one point where we dropped. So that's why this is very important where we're at currently. Same with this, right? So That's what I'm looking for currently in the market. Like that's what I'm watching is these levels right here for SPY and QQQ. Very similar. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see. Also, let me see what are all the companies. Look and see which companies have earnings this week that I'm looking for. It's a lot of retail. A lot of retail is having earnings. Like Walmart, Target, Costco, Cisco. Let me see. Okay, so we got let's see, on Monday we have, I'm trying to see if there's anybody good. We got ZipRecruiter on Monday. That's really all I would care about Monday. But Tuesday we have Walmart, Home Depot, QuickLogics. Looks like Seagate as well. Then Wednesday we have Target, Lowe's, Cisco, Krispy Kreme. So there's going to be a lot of retail going on next week having earnings, and retail earnings and guidance is what's going to show us how like everyday people like you, me, our parents, our cousins, brothers and sisters, etc., our friends are reacting internally, domestically to inflation and whatnot. So, because that's where we go to, go get our groceries and do all this, that, and the other. So if they're saying like, everything's getting more expensive, that means that we're feeling that. And if we're not going and spending the more money, then it's going to show, and they start cutting guidance and they start doing all that, then it's going to show that we're reacting poorly to that. And that should bring the market down pretty hard. So I'm also looking at that all next week as well. So does anyone have any questions? I feel kind of like I came prepared to answer a lot of questions today, and I don't want to just talk to myself. So if y'all have anything that y'all want me to look at or do or anything like that, just let me know. I would like to look at it for you. And if not, I'm just gonna probably just kind of live trade these futures. Or if y'all want to help me pick a property that I'm currently looking at buying, that would be cool. But that's about really all I got in the tank for myself today. Other than that, I really just wanted to help you guys go over anything that y'all wanted to go over today. So start asking, start typing, let's go. Anything and everything. Looking at SPY's historic chart, and most of the time it does good in August, but September has a pullback month. What do I think? Well, let's take a look. So, let's do week. That way we can see it on a little bit of a different scale. So, August, this month we're currently in so far, pretty green. August was green, as you say. September red. September red. August kind of This is in 2020 though, during the last bear market that we kind of had. So let's see. Sorry, this was during the last. What the fuck is going on? Okay. Yeah. So that was the last bear market, which makes sense. We tweezer topped and dropped. September definitely dropped. August definitely went up. So that's 2 years in a row. All right, so I've seen enough. We're doing this currently. We're probably gonna go. So according to that, then we should probably go to rise up to here by the end of this. Probably either here or here. And then we'll drop, and we'll start our drop, because then after those, right, like this one, what was it, right here, we dropped, and then we dropped further for the rest of the year, right? So I can see it happening again. I'm gonna have a big drop here. I could see it happening. I could see us double topping here and then just eating shit. So I could see the rest of August being pretty decent, like, you know, a little chop here and there, but overall green weeks, and people are gonna think that we've fully recovered and we're on the way up, and that's gonna be when the ball drops all September. I could see that happening. The only reason I would say potentially not is because midterms are coming up, and the Biden administration is doing everything they can to make sure that, like, the market looks and stays strong, so that they don't look weak and yada yada yada. They don't even want to talk about the word recession. And as far as the market bottoming, I think maybe we found a short-term bottom, but we haven't found a bottom, right? Like, let's look at what happened in 2020. Not 2020, I'm sorry, 2018 is when we had the most significant drop last time. So what happened is 2017 leading into 2018, we had this massive rip, right? Rip. And then we dropped, and then it looked like we retraced 50% or more and came back, and then we dropped back down to that bottom. And then it looked like we were done, and then we dropped even further. So this right here, right, like, this tripped out a lot of people for 2 or 3 months. This is already 2 months worth of tripping people out. So those are the biggest moves up that get you. Let's look at 08, right? 08 through 09. So we started going down. We had this massive rip back that fucked everybody that thought we were done. We dropped super hard back to this level and started bouncing back up, which again made everybody think, okay, we might be done. And then Extra died, right? Extra died. And you know, there were a bunch of people that took this signal as we're coming back up, or this signal as we're coming back up, just for us to die more, and this to be the true signal that we're coming back up. So I don't think we've necessarily found the bottom. I think we found a bottom for this to do this and find another leg down, and we could potentially, this could be like, how do I put it? This could be the bottom that we've found, in the sense that we could hit it again and then bounce back up. That's very possible. We could hit this again and then catapult back up. Like, it's the bottom in the sense that like, that's the bottom. We're gonna hit it a few times and then come back up. But do I think that this is, like, that's it? Like, we're never gonna touch it again? In the meantime, no. All the indicators for our economy show that this does not make any sense. Like, the market moving up doesn't make any sense. Liquidity is going to get drained slowly but surely just through simple inflation. Us having to spend more money on stuff, right? Like, we're not going to have the money to keep in the market. We're going to have to pull it out. Same thing is going to happen with businesses who have to pay more money for their materials, more money for this, that, and the other. They're going to slow down on investing because they don't have as much money to invest. Actually, I feel the same way. And the reason you make more money during drops versus rises is because, and there's a saying for it too. It's the market takes the stairs up, but the elevator down. This is a prime example. Step up, step up, step up, elevator down. All of this, which was from December 18 all the way to February 20. So a year and almost 2 years worth of stuff wiped out in the course of 1 month. All of that wiped out in 1 month. Then we ladder step up. But see, this is the thing is, the step up, the ladder steps up, the stair still steps up. They last so much longer, so they're more almost guaranteed. I don't want to say they're guaranteed, but they're easier to ride the wave up. That's why you see so many, Twitter guys and so many people that were during this time period popped up and they couldn't lose. They were making so much money and everybody started following them and blah 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 blah. And now where are they? Because they don't know how to play this. They don't know how to. They all they know how to play is up. They don't know how to play down. So now they're popping back up. They're oh yeah, blah blah blah. My 300% plays because we're doing this right now, right? That's it. They pop out during these moments, but they shut the fuck up during these moments. So, just be prepared for that. Like, that's one reason why having a strategy where, like, the 9 EMA, right? Like, just this alone and this, you can use this just these as entries and exits points and make decent money both ways. It's good to have a strategy that you can use both ways, not just oh, the market's going up, it can only keep going up type of mentality, or the market's going down, so I should just buy everything while it's going down. You should only be buying stuff that you really, really want to keep for like 10, 20, 30 years. That's going to be your retirement plan that you're going to sell. Like, Warren Buffett has Apple, right? You have whatever it is that you're going to have. It could be Apple as well. It could be Amazon. It could be whatever. But, it could be SPY. It could be QQQ. It could be whatever it is for you. Because overall, in the grand scheme of things, right, those drops were nothing. Like, they sucked when they were happening, but we always rise higher. So if we drop back down to touch this 200 EMA, we're just going to come back up to here. Like, it's about, do you like the stock? Are you willing to hold it for a long time? And are you patient enough? Let me take a look. I'll just look at it on the 65. Jesus. It sure does look like it. It's trying. So that would mean, though, we're probably gonna drop down to here or so before we actually come up, because that's not nearly enough drop to be considered a handle yet. I would say it has to at least come down to here before we come up, and that's like, okay, that's a handle. But yeah, we could, again, like I said, this week or whatever, could be just chock full of green. We keep going green for the rest of the month, so another couple weeks, and then September is just death on death on death. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens based off of just how the markets looked, and even during the the last couple bear market recessions that we've had, that's exactly what we did. So, does anyone else have any questions? Anyone else want to ask anything? And keep them coming too. Everybody, just ask what you want. Yeah, so far I'm just kind of watching these. Let's see. See, but on the 1 minute, this could definitely form a cup and handle right here. Start flying up. And I think that's what it's about to do. About to see. Is it okay to ask non-trading related question? Yeah, go ahead. This tool is a fib tool. It's in the same area as the fib retracement. It's just called fib channel. Put the same settings as you have for your fib retracement here, and you just draw it. The way you draw it is so like you have to go from two high points. So you basically draw like a trend line with it, and then go to the bottom, or vice versa, like that to the top. Let me show you. So like for me, I went like that. Oh shit. I drew it wrong though. Okay, so you're supposed to draw it from this way. Like that. Like that. And then I just picked a short spot, or what was it, right here, like that, and there you go. And then you can drag it out if you'd like a little bit. There you go. That's how I dragged mine slightly. It was, yeah, it's right here. I had it on this as my bottom. But yeah, you just make sure that the this line lines up with one of your bottom spot, like the part that you picked as your bottom. And that's why they were bouncing perfectly off of this line downward, was because of that. And it is okay to ask non-trading related questions, especially if the chat is this dry. If the market drops back to 11,500 level, then I'm selling my car, my house, my children, my kidneys, and buying. That's probably a good idea, brother. Then you can buy them all back and maybe a couple extra cars, wives, and children if you'd like. I'm sure they'll all forgive you once they realize. But notice how this 9 EMA, it touched it and then just got disrespected. Just recently saw a posting about SAM contracts. Curious about the process, how to go into it. I think you actually sent me an email on that. So the concept is, and it's a little in depth, so excuse me if I don't tell you like the entire process, but just understand that like what I have to do is I have to help you get your business registered with the SAM to get these SAM contracts. And once your business is registered and they accept your business and blah blah blah, I can then like I will go on there for you and like look for contracts in your area and let you know like, hey, look, this is in your area, go check on it, tell me what you would do it for. I'll go ahead and put the bid in for you because I know how to do all the, I guess, the wording, like how to put it in and all that stuff. Do all that for you, put it in, and like the cool thing is like for me, so I have a fee that I'm going to put on there, but it's not you paying it, it's the government paying it. So whatever bid you give me, I'm going to add like a 5 or 10% tax to that, get my money off the top from them, and then go that way. So you get your, basically the lower that you put your bid in for, like the lower you're willing to do it for, the more likely you are to get the contract. You get a contract, usually they are year-long contracts or like a specific job that they want done, and you complete the job and then they pay you. Or if it's a contract like where it's a year thing, so like the window washing one, if that's the one you're talking about, would be I think you go like twice a year and you clean like their entire building, which is like a 4-story building, and you clean all the windows, and they have like a little dome area too that you have to clean and stuff like that. And you'd have to be like give an honest estimate what you would do it for. Go, boom, we put the bid in, it hopefully gets accepted, then you have your foot in the door, and 9 times out of 10, if you do a good job, they just renew it. They just keep renewing it until you don't want to do it anymore. So that's why it's so good to get a government contract, because they will just keep you. They just want to keep the person doing the job as long as they can. They don't want to go through this process again. And then another good thing about it is once you've started doing it, then they know who to go to for another project. They may not even put something up for bid and just tell you, hey, we have another project, would you like to take it on? And go that way. And so then from there, you don't have to rely on me to go on there to do the bids and stuff for you and put the contract in and all that stuff for you and go look, because that's a process that's kind of annoying. You have to really be trolling on there like constantly. They have stuff that comes up constantly and then gets taken off and taken, so if you ever watch War Dogs, it's literally what they use to do the gun contracts on there. So yeah, it's a process. It takes a little bit. The only fee you ever are going to pay me if you decide to use me would be the initial setting up your ship fee, and after that I'm not ever going to ask you for money, and you'll be set up. I'll do all the contract stuff for you, and whatever you want to do a bid or whatever, you just let me know. I'll send you the info like for something to where to go look, and how much they're willing to pay, and you give me an honest estimate, and I will work out like what I think will work, and I'll send that to you basically. Like, so give you an example, if they're willing to spend $1 million and you go and you say, hey, I'd honestly do this for $250,000, right? Well, I'll go and I'll say, that's great, we can put in a low bid, we'll probably get accepted, because the max they're willing to do it for is $1 million. So what I'll say is, look, let's put a bid in for $350,000. Everybody's happy. You get basically money for a job that you wouldn't have gotten any other way besides through a government contract. They're happy because they're not spending $1 million on this job, and I'm happy because I got like a $20,000 fee or something, whatever it is that I end up doing. And so you end up getting more for your more than what you normally get for it. And so everybody leaves happy. That's kind of how the process goes. At least that's how I make the process go. I don't know how anyone else was going to do it. Like, if you have a bigger team, eventually what I can do is I can teach someone on your team how to go and look for the contracts as well. But after people realize how, like, you kind of have to be trolling on there almost 24/7 to find this stuff, they rather just let me do it. So I've done it for like 5 people already, 5 businesses. So I think it's 3 or 5. Can't remember anymore. I'm always on there trolling for this shit. But yeah, that's how the process works. And if you are interested, just reach out and let me know. I'll help you out. And if anyone has any questions related to the market or anything, please let me know as well. You're welcome. I'm happy to explain it. I know it's kind of seems like too good to be true, and like, how is it that easy and blah blah blah. It's really not easy, but it is easy once you get your foot in the door and you get a contract. Basically, most people can survive off just the one government contract for their business, and then everything else that they get besides that contract is like extra revenue that they can use to grow their business. And so that's why I've been pushing it a little bit on my TikTok anyway, to help people, because it's not that difficult. And a lot of people, reached out to me about the roofing shit, and then when I tried to send them like how the process would work, they don't respond back because they realize that it's gonna be a little bit more from them than they expected, I guess. And they don't want to they just want like me to send them the contract and they start working for $1 million or something. Like, that's how nothing works. But yeah. Does anyone have any questions? See, there's 4 of you in here. Got about 20 more minutes. 23 more minutes. If not, I may just take a trade here once this either breaks through here or through here. No questions? Y'all are very quiet today, man. Ask me something. So I have been trading futures a lot with the funded account, and I do like this thing. I also do just like my regular fibs as well, which work perfectly fine. trading platform do I use? So if I'm on my futures for funded account, I'm using Top Step. But for like my regular trading shit, I use Webull, I use TD Ameritrade. Um, that's really it. And basically, I have my account split two ways. So my day trading account, smaller account, whatever you want to call it, is my Webull account, and my bigger long term, like, hey, I'm not really messing with this every day. I'm just taking a look at it and maybe adding some stuff to it once a month or once every couple weeks, is my TD account. And I am going to post my email in there. That is the email that you can reach out to me on if you are interested about the SAM contracts. Like I said, all I'm gonna do, I'll tell you the process. At least just tell me if you're interested or not. I really hate being left on red. That's the only thing I hate. So, um, yeah, just be like, hey, I appreciate you letting me know, but I'm not really interested after seeing what it's all about or whatever. But it's not really even like a huge process. Basically, I go on there, I send you what it is in your area. If there's nothing in your area, sometimes you have to be willing to drive a few hours to do a job that's going to pay you a few $100,000 a year. If you're not willing to do that, then you're probably not really willing to grow your small business. Most people will be willing to do that for a few $100,000. Let's see. Looks like we're breaking down, so I'm going to try route with a 53. Yeah. Let's see how this goes. I'll put it there, 52.50. I think this is about to break down a little bit more. At least I hope, because if it starts doing that, I'll be pissed. Oh, shit. Let's see if I can get $10 out of this. Might have hoed myself. Looks like it. Looks like I hoed myself. Oh, shit. Okay. I'm out. Sometimes you get lucky like that with futures. Thought I hoed myself and ended up making $10 real quick. $15, whatever. So yeah, does anyone have any questions? And I want y'all to know that y'all can ask me anything about like the strategy as well. Like I'm more than happy to go over like little parts of a strategy if there's anything that you want me to go over in terms of like inside candles, fibs, VWAP, 200-day EMA, 9-day EMA, 21 and 9-day EMA. Just let me know. I know I put out a few strategies on TikTok and whatever, and I want to make sure that whichever one you're using it well and that you understand it. Strategy for trading futures is slightly different than normal. So as you can see, I have my 9-day EMA and I have my 200-day EMA, which is over yonder. So I use fibs. Fibs are very important when trading futures because they're very accurate. As you can see, these lines are usually very respected. Once you break through to usually the next line or the next line, and then use that as a bounce area to then drop. The gold zones are very accurate. We broke into this gold zone and just died, right? And when we died, we broke through a level, hit this, and then rejected it to just break down and kind of hover here, and then finally reject this level, right? So fibs are very important, and playing like momentum is very important with futures. So like when you see like a hammer candle, tweezer tops, tweezer bottoms, like these gravestones and dragonfly dojis type things, like you need to be very watchful and be prepared for that reversal. Looking for inside candles, right? Like let me show you an inside candle example where we broke through. So even this right here, right? Like this formed an inside candle. We didn't break up or down until here, and when we broke down, this broke down a couple dollars, which in futures is like, for one contract, that's like $50, $50-$60, which is all you should be trying to secure anyway. And then when we broke back above that range, we moved crazy. So like seeing double tops, or like when you see something reject an area several times, using that like as a good point of resistance is very good. So like even in like here and here, right? So like rejected once, rejected twice. The third time we hit this, we know we're about to die. Plus we got a hammer, right? Super rejection. Down to here, we've rejected here twice, so we know we're probably going to pop up here. We do pop up again, pop up. And so if you were in calls, you could have kept exiting here, and if you were holding any runners, you would have then exited here where we've rejected several times, and then just waited for your next confirmation for another play, which would have been your hammer here and rejection in this gold zone. So looks like it. So like this, right? Like I would, and making sure that you don't put your shit like so like if I was gonna get a put, right, like it's at 49.75, I might put it for 51. And see, and then just like that, like it popped up real quick, gave it to me, and then gave me some winnings. It's like that's what you're trying to do. You're not necessarily trying to catch this or this. You're trying to catch like I'm in and out in the same fucking candle almost every time, right? Like this, I bought it. I happened to buy it at the end of this candle and then exit towards the entry of this candle. This one is probably one of my longer holds that I had, which was for past a whole minute. Enter and exit, same candle again. A couple minutes later. You're pretty quick with these exits. So, and obviously I could have held on to it and netted more, but that's not how you trade futures. That's not how you do it. Like, as you can see, I'm barely securing any profits when I do these. I'm securing $10-$15 every time. Sometimes I'll secure 50, but don't overshoot with these. This was an inside candle, broke above it, broke out. Like I would have taken that if I would have been watching it, but I hadn't been watching it until here, so. And the reason I took up upwards motion here is because we already broke out of this range, and I decided that we would probably bounce off of this, and we did, and I exited. Any questions, guys? Hopefully we don't break this, because I might have messed up. I bought in an inside candle instead of waiting for that range to break. But it is the 1 minute, so the inside candles on 1 minutes are kind of eh. So as you can see, I made a little bit of money there. Even though I made $10, it pays the fee, the little fee, which is like $1 or $2. So like buy it for $1, sell it for $1, takes away like $2. Yeah. And again, I could have held it and made like $50 right there real quick, but that's not how you do it. And just for those of you that might not have seen it earlier, here's my kind of levels with SPY that I'm looking for next to see, where we're going. We broke through this one. This is the next one. That's the next one after that, and so on and so forth. And we could even say that's technically this level because we've rejected here 3 times. So, go out on a limb and say that. With the secondary level there. And we can change this color to orange. So it's like a high interest point. But I do think that this is probably going to continue up for the rest of August. Hit this, form a double top, and just reject really bad. Now, am I a wizard? No. So it could absolutely just skyrocket to one of these levels and then finally reject. But do I think we're going back to this? Absolutely not. It wouldn't make any sense for the market to just keep rallying this hard. Nothing in the economy is pointing towards that being a possibility and happening still. Like even this doesn't make sense. What we're doing right now doesn't make sense. Unless you look at it as a dead cat bounce. Like how it was before. When the last 2 bear markets happened. Does anyone have any questions? How do I trade futures was actually a very good one. It's mainly just using the 9 EMA as again a cross area and a rejection point, and then also using fibs, and then making sure that I'm looking for different patterns and whatnot like this, consolidation. Should I take $5? Probably. Probably should have took it. Sorry. Let's do this. Do that. Just in case it pops down on me real quick. No questions? There we go. We're out of that one. Alright, so I'm like 4 for 4 on the stream so far. I mean, obviously little wins, but little wins are wins nonetheless. And that's how you stay profitable. Just keep taking your little wins. Same thing with contracts and options. Stop looking for 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 100%. Stop looking for that. If you will just simply take 5 or 10% every time you get a contract and just accept 5 or 10% gains, I can almost, if you're using the strategies that I've been showing you, I can 100% almost guarantee you that your account will grow every month. It'll grow for sure. Unless you just really suck at cutting at a stop loss, which again should be, if you have 5% that you're taking, your stop loss should be 10%. If you're taking 10% profit, your stop loss should be 15%. That's it. If you're not following those rules, then you won't be profitable. If you are, you'll be good. How do I know? Because I use the same shit. So as you can see, we're still falling. Still been in, that would have been a couple $100 right there. Actually, put that back there. Hopefully we pop back up real quick, hit my order, and then drop back again. Come on. Here, I'll even give you that. Try to do that. I need that probably. Does anybody have any questions? My bad, guys. My son's trying to sneak in here and shit. Little menace. Give me an entry now, dog. Uh-oh. Let's see. Might have fudged. We'll see. 15. I won't take 5, but I'll take $10 or $15. Probably should have took 5 though. Yeah, I should have took 5. I will if it gives it to me again. Any questions? Hello, hello. Questions, comments, concerns? Probably exit there if it's still going. Usually won't hold stuff past like $100, $200 negative. But I haven't made very much today, so I'll probably cut it at 100, 150 if it decides to be disrespectful. And this might be my first loss of the day. And if it is, that's okay, because the small wins will make it back up. I'm not really too worried about it. Though I do hope it rejects right here and starts going down. It looks possible with this candle. Whenever I get out of this trade, I'll probably end the stream, whichever way that is. So if y'all don't have any questions, or if you have questions, you should be asking them. I'm going to use this 9 EMA as my exit point. If we go above it, I'll probably exit. Go. Y'all ain't got no questions, man? Nothing? Oh, I see most of y'all are leaving. There's only one other person in here now, or 2 people. That's probably why. Questions? No questions? Hoping this forms a tweezer top. We reject. Looks like it tried, so this should hopefully stop with the bullshit. project off of this 200 EMA. There we go. Oh, fuck me, I did it too fast. Oh, you bitch, you. Hold on, let me get back in there. Goddamn. I made some of it back. Okay. Anyway, y'all get the point. I'm gonna go ahead and log off. Not seeing very many questions or anything like that. I feel like I'm just trading, and y'all are watching me trade. So, yeah, y'all have a wonderful evening. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out on that at that email account that I posted. And yeah, y'all have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and let's go get them tomorrow. All right.